Hello my friends. What I have here is crystallized ginger, and it's a really good snack, real easy to make. And the texture, it's chewy, sweet, spicy, and it's crystallized slices of ginger. Very inexpensive to make, very expensive to buy in the store. Let me show you how it's done. Making candied ginger, first thing you want to do is peel the ginger. So I'm going to break these apart and peel these individually. One of the more efficient ways to peel is to just scrape with a spoon. After all the ginger is peeled, next you want to slice it, and I'm using a sharp knife, and I want them pretty thin pieces. Here all the ginger is prepped, and I did this with a knife. You can use a food processor or a mandolin that would cut thin uniform slices, or just do like I did, cut it by hand. Next you want to take a heavy stock pot or heavy pot, and we're going to make a simple syrup. And the simple syrup calls for equal parts sugar, equal parts water. Here I have 1 cup of organic sugar, and I have here honey from my bees. This is already starting to solidify. This is a pint. I'm going to add a cup of honey, which there are 2 cups in a pint. So you can see I can't pull this out or pour it out. We're just going to scoop half of this volume because there's 2 cups in a pint. And to this we're going to add equal water. However, honey already has moisture in it. So the correct mix ratio would be 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of honey, and 1.5 cups of water. So I'm going to add 1.5 cups of water. You want to heat this simple syrup up to 235 degrees. At 230 to 235, that is the thread stage. Water boils at 212. So as soon as you get it to the boil, I think you can just go and start adding these slices. And we're going to heat these for about 20 to 30 minutes. And what we're doing by heating this, we're going to displace the moisture that's in the ginger root with the sugar syrup, and that is what's going to candy these. And when you put your syrup in a stock pot or container, you want to make sure that it is about triple the height of the liquid, because it will foam. If you overheat it, it will foam very easily, and it could foam over, and of course sugar is flammable. It could catch fire. Now if you don't like the real strong bite of the ginger, you can tone it down, and the way you do that is before you soak this in the sugar syrup, you boil this in 2 or 3 changes of water. Just bring it up to a boil, drain it, boil it for about 1 minute, bring the temperature up to a boil, drain it, do it 2 or 3 times that way, and that will take a lot of the sting or the bite out of the ginger. But I like that, and I like the taste of the honey, so we're going to have honey flavored ginger with still a good bite to it. And again, you got to watch your heat, because it can go to a boil and it can foam. So be vigilant when you're doing this. You can see It's somewhat translucent, and this has been in about 25 minutes. The temperature is close to 235. At that temperature, the syrup is 80% sugar, 20% water. And as you lose more moisture, it's going to want to start foaming up more. So you have to be very careful watching this. Keep moving it around so that they're not sticking together in the pot. It's been about 30 minutes, and what I'm going to do now is remove these and place them on a wire rack to drip. I have parchment paper underneath so that I don't make too big of a mess. And the other thing is I'm turning my flame off. You don't have to do that, but I have my parchment paper right up against my pot, and I don't want the flame to hit it. And as I lay these out, I'm making sure they're not going to be stacked on each other, separating them. I placed granulated sugar in this bowl, and now that this had drained somewhat, I'm going to place it in the sugar and give it a toss, and this is to keep it from sticking to each other. And then I'm laying this on parchment paper, and this will sit overnight to dry. You can see as the heat increases, it starts foaming up. You have to be very careful with that. It's almost like making maple syrup. That last stage, when it gets real close, it can overflow, and that's flammable. So watch it at that point. This is the second batch, about 5 more minutes and it's done. After removing the last of the ginger, then you're going to have some syrup left over. And what to do with that, you don't want to discard it. You can put it in a jar, save it for a ice cream topping, or use it for sweetening tea or any type of a drink. Or what you can do, and this is what I'm going to do right here, is reduce it down and make hardtack candy. And it already has a really strong ginger taste to it. So you just have to heat this up to the hard crack temperature, which I believe is around 300 degrees. I'll double check that. And if you leave little bits of ginger in there, that's perfectly alright. Okay, it's only taken a few minutes to get it up to temperature, and we're getting real close. So you want to keep stirring so you don't get it to burn. You want to try to keep the tip of the thermometer off the bottom of the pot. That could give you a false reading. And hardtack or hard crack is 302 degrees. And looks like we are there. The leftover simple sugar syrup leaves it very sweet and spicy. And if you take it to the candy stage, you can make really tasty hardtack candy. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.